true human being, the sincere person, is one person. That alone by itself is a great lesson and a great pursuit. If you were to pursue for the next couple of years that I want to be uniform or unique in my identity, singular identity. I'm the same inside and outside. Inside meaning private and outside in public. I'm the same inside what I feel inside and what I portray outside. If you pursue that, I think that's a good life's quest. You'd be a good person. If you can conquer that, you've got it nailed. Most of us, to some degree or the other, we're a different person in private than we are in public. Because nobody is seeing, right? That's pitiful. That's pitiful that our thought process would actually accept that. It just shows you how intricate the thought process is. We would accept that idea that no one is seeing. What about Rabbul Alameen? He doesn't count? Huh? يَسْتَخْفُونَ مِنَ النَّاسِ وَلَا يَسْتَخْفُونَ مِنَ اللَّهِ. They try to conceal themselves from people, but they don't attempt to conceal themselves from Allah, and we can't conceal ourselves from Allah. وَهُوَ مَعَهُمْ إِذْ يُبَيِّتُونَ مَا لَا يَرْضَى مِنَ الْقَوْلِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ مُحِيطًا. When they conspire during the night with words, and Allah encompasses all that they do. Not that He knows, He encompasses. Al-ihata, not al-ilm only. Not only knows, but He knows the details inside and out. Yet we don't count Him. That's amazing. Duality or multiplicity of personality. It's a very dangerous thing. That our thought process would actually take into consideration whether we are being observed or not by human beings to make the decision. Does anyone have that right? Is anybody that deserving? Sit here with me. Let's just analyze this. Is anybody that deserving? I don't care if he's king. What ruler, rich, powerful, knowledgeable, presumed righteous. And I say presumed because we see what we see. Rabbul Alameen sees the heart. That we should influence our decision or allow His presence to influence our decisions. No one has that right. None. Don't deserve it. I know there's details to this if you were to observe or to consider this line of thinking to more granularity, that you would find, yes, there are situations where you will modify your decision based on the presence of people because some things are just not suitable. Things that it's okay to do by yourself, it's not okay to do in public. There are some things. And of course, you'll influence your decision. But you wouldn't mind if they know that you did it. You'd still be comfortable that they knew that you did it. It's just that they don't have to see that. That's different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you don't even want them to know that you made that decision. So because they're seeing you make one decision, they're not seeing you make another. Many of us have dual or multiple personalities for different occasions. We have a personality for the masjid, we have one for home, we have one for work, we have one for when we're out hanging out with the guys or the girls. Yeah. Are you there with me? Do you see a little hypocrite popping up and raising it? Yes, that's me, that's me. There's a little hypocrite within every one of us. You know the funny part? Well, not so funny part is we try to tell people to do one thing in public that we do in public, but in private we would have done exactly what they did in public. Did I go too fast for you there? No. But only because it's public that we come down on them. But in private we would have done the same thing or worse. Some people even facilitate the process and simplify it for the person by giving him dual names, two names. I am totally against two names, and I want to say it clearly now. On Google video, two names is bad for you. Jekyll and Hyde, no. Khalid and Peter, no. Don't do it. You confuse your child. When you call him Khalid at home and tell him it's okay to be Peter at school. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then what happened? That child started seeing himself as two different people. Because there is one expectation for Khalid and there is another for Peter. And he can be Peter when he goes to school, one person, and he becomes Khalid when he comes home. And he does whatever, please the parents. You see the thought process there? The superego ceases to exist. There is no moral standards within this person that controls him or redirects him. Social influences has to be the force that stops his evil self. But when that social influence ceases to exist, what happened? He's gone. See that? What has to keep the person in check? What? The superego. The teachings that you have learned. Hopefully from your parents, from Quran and Sunnah, from your teachers, from adults, from anyone. Good things. Good standards. Taqwa. Internal police. Taqwa. The personal police. The personal internal police. The human being is a complex thing. The mind is a complex thing. The thought process. We have to stop and think what's happening within us when we make a decision. What is it that moved us? And that's deep sometimes that we're not even aware of it. So deep. Inner desire. Deep desire. Can you picture that? Sometime, lurking in the depths of the dungeons of our selves are desires, emotions that move us, that we are unaware of their influences and the power of their forces that they exert upon us in our decision-making process. And even our not so super ego is incapable of checking them. And perhaps if we're lucky, sometimes external influences and expectations, if they're the right one, may keep us in check. But in the absence of those, the nafsul ammaratu bisu reigns king. It's king. The self that commands you to do wrong is in control.